Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. Today we're looking at the Halo Spartan Collection Master Chief. This is from Halo 2. So finally we get a new Master Chief that looks different than the three Chiefs we've gotten that are based off the Infinite look. This is Halo 2 and he looks amazing. Halo 2 is definitely one of my favorite Halo games. One of my most played ones, playing it on XBC just every night of the week, having fun. It was great times, and then Halo 3, probably my favorite, so I'm hoping we get a armor version of him there. It's the same armor, I believe, but it is different. It was next gen graphics, so they upgraded the look a little bit, but it's pretty much the same thing, and it's pretty much why I believe everybody is so excited about the Infinite armor looking so similar to this one. Yet you can definitely see the differences, especially when you put the figures side by side, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So again, aesthetic-wise, Halo 2 armor, it looks really good. It does have all the detail work sculpted into it. It's pretty accurate to the game. I don't really see that many flaws, maybe just one that kind of bugs me, but not too much. And yeah, again, aesthetic-wise, it looks good. The flaw I'm talking about goes on the helmet, where he doesn't have the little domes for the flashlight on the side, right here and right here. They're missing for whatever reason. I keep looking at the packaging to try and see if they're there, but on the packaging, it looks like they're supposed to be like dry brushing of silver on there, which I think mine has a little bit of dry brushing of silver, but there should be those little domes, that he uses for his flashlights. So that's unfortunately missing. Aside from that, the figure is definitely a good model representation. I know people are going to say the McFarlane one looks better. Of course the McFarlane one looks better. I'm pretty sure they use game assets to make their figures. But articulation on this guy is great. Size-wise, again, he will fit in with your 1/12 scale action figures. I was going to say 1/6, no. It'll fit in with your 1/12 scale action figures because he is tall enough to be the Master Chief. And they brought back the shiny helmet for this one. I don't know if the entire last wave didn't have it, but as you can see here on the left, Noble 6, the original Spartan that had that armor, I think it was the white one, had the nice glossy thing. Noble 6, for some reason, they didn't put it on there. Palmer doesn't have it. I don't know about the other two. I don't even remember who the other two are, if I'm being honest. But yeah, they did bring back the shiny helmet for this guy, which I'm happy about because I was worried that going forward they were going to stop doing it. Maybe they're going to just pick and choose which characters get it. I think everyone should get it. I think it's a great feature. So my only other issue is the color of this figure. It's accurate, but not accurate, but it looks accurate. But when I look at screenshots, I'm like, yeah, that's not right. But it looks how I remember it, but it's not how I remember it because obviously that's not the color it's supposed to be. But it's so close that my brain thinks, yeah, that's Master Chief. That's the color he is. But then I look at it some more and I'm like, yeah, that's too lime green. Shouldn't it be darker? Because the graphics in Halo 2 were definitely a lot darker. And then in Halo 3, they were definitely more, whatever, but it was more beat up and stuff because that was after the whole thing. But when you get the armor in Halo 2, it's brand new, it's shiny. And then if you play it in the anniversary graphics, it's like a really metallic, super shiny thing that's definitely not this color, but I don't think that's what they were going for anyway. So yeah, I don't know, the color is kind of weird to me. I think he just needs a little bit of a wash and he'll be fine, though I want to say he should be more of an olive drab green color, kind of like Jerome over here. I think that's the color he should have been, a nice clean color of this on there. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I've tried looking up a bunch of screenshots. I just played through Halo 2 like 3 days ago, but you don't really see yourself that much when you're playing the game aside from the cutscenes. So again, it feels a little bit too bright. It might look a little bit too toyish to some people. Not anything you can't fix without a good little bit of a wash. And that's something you might want to do anyway, considering some of these little details on the armor. You can't really see too much. There is 2 tones of green. Don't know if you can notice it on camera, but there is a kind of duller color. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a little bit of a duller, lighter green, and then there's a little bit of a darker green like in the grooves and stuff. So they did do a little bit of shading, a little bit of color differentiation there, but not too much. There is some silver dry brushing, but again, not too much. I believe there actually should be some more, I don't know, I don't want to say silver or white, but maybe like a grayish color over the black, because that's kind of what it looked like in some of the stills I was looking at earlier. The black shouldn't be completely black. It should have kind of like a white, not super white, but like an off-white kind of thing over it, if that makes any sense. That just fell. Anyways, looks aside, let's go on to some accessories. He does come with 2 pointing finger hands, which are meant to hold his dual SMGs, which love that they came with dual SMGs. Same problem as Palmer, though, that they gave us the hole on one side, so when he holsters them, instead of them both being straight forward, one of them is going to be backwards, which is unfortunate. I get why they do it. They don't need to do another mold for it or anything. It's just cheaper that way, but it does suck because dual wielding, I would like it if they were both facing forward. That's my preference. I want to say that's actually how it looks in the game. It saves them money. Maybe somebody can make an inverted replica. That would be great, and then it wouldn't be rubbery. But these actually came out really straight, unlike Jerome's shotgun, which is really not straight. But like I said, dual fingers pointing forward for him to hold his dual SMGs, which look really good. 2-tone color on there, can't complain about that at all. Comes with a pair of holding hands, so he can hold one SMG with 2 hands, can hold it with the finger and, you know, mix and match and everything like that. Unfortunately, no separate trigger finger. He does come with a pair of fists, and that double pointing finger command hand thing that they all come with that they don't really do, aside from like Halo 3, not Halo 3, Halo 5. And unfortunately, every single one of these hands are the up and down, not the hinged up and up, I guess. They're not doing that thing. They're doing that thing, which is disappointing because it's one of the complaints that I feel like, you know, out of everything, they could have fixed that pretty easily, but maybe in the future we'll get better ones. Who knows? It just makes it for posing easier. That's the main thing. But aside from that, great, love it. Let's move on. So before we get too far into articulation, I do want to mention that he does have the little things that pop off on the sides of his legs and his back, so you can holster the weapons. I didn't mention, you know, the weapons being holstered earlier, but did want to point out that he does still have that, so you can add a weapon to his back, add a weapon to either side of his thigh, and yeah, so let's actually jump into the articulation here. Okay, sorry about the bad lighting and everything. I just wanted to add this really quick in here because I am in the middle of taking photos for this review. And these pieces, which are for the thighs, so you can attach the weapons, as you guys can see right there. Yeah, they're backwards in the sense that, let's say, this is how they are normally when you get the figure, which looks good, you know, it's fine, it's all nice and flush. And when you want to attach the weapons, you have to take the one on the right, flip it around, and put it on the left side, and same with the other one, so that the armor still stays flush and everything. A little bit kind of weird, because it means that if you only want one weapon holstered, the other side isn't going to look right, because it's going to look like that if you try and close it. Or take this one out if you want to just flip this, because originally it goes in like that, it's nice and flush. If you just want to flip one of them, it will be popping out like that. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's too big of a deal because it is Master Chief with the 2 SMGs, and they're going to pretty much be in there the whole time, or he's going to be holding them. But if you wanted to, like, do one weapon and that's it, it's going to look a little bit weird, and the only real way to kind of fix that is to buy a second Master Chief and take the pieces off of him and put it on this one. So a little inconvenient, a little bit of a weird choice. Still works. Glad that it still works. Glad that they made it flush, because it could have really easily been taken out and not looked good. Though, I don't know, I feel like they could have reshaped it somehow and made it right, but maybe they wouldn't have had enough plastic because it would have been going into legs. I don't know. Either way, whatever the excuse is, I just want to point that out so people know, you know, switch them around when you flip them. That way, they're flush. Which is alright. You can look up that much, look down that much, so it's alright. It's not great. Left and right, no pivot, unfortunately, which, I mean, I don't think any of the Spartans have pivots, so it is what it is. It's basically what you would expect, basically. Words are hard. But anyways, arm can go up that much. You can get the rubber, kind of manipulate it, and go like that, so it can go up a little bit more. And if you actually just lower it and move the arm like that, you can do something like that. Just try to make sure that this curved line right here is the right direction, going kind of down and not the other way around. Otherwise, he can't put his arms all the way down flat, which this figure can do, and I think it's really good. I don't know, just the fact that he can get his arms all the way straight next to his body, Love it. The Power Rangers actually can't do that from Hasbro, and it's always bugging me that they can't put their arms completely down because of the way they're sculpted. This guy does it. Love it. And he actually has his arm being able to go completely straight, unlike the original Master Chief release, which couldn't do it. So that's another bonus with this figure. Again, you can rotate at the upper arm right there. Double jointed elbow that does that much, which is not bad. It's about 90. Then rotation at the wrist and hinge. Forward and back. No up and down. Sucks, but it is what it is. For the body, it's funny because it is hollowed out now. They used to have it super tight and packed in the rubber right there. So it kind of makes me feel like they are listening to some of the people. Because you could hollow this out and get a little bit more articulation. But they pretty much did it for you. Though this time, and I noticed they did this with Noble 6, so I don't know when they started it. They changed the orientation of this piece here so it's side to side, so we can get a little bit more side to side movement. But no real forward and back. It stops him from being able to do that. My only guess is that they kind of probably figured the armor is going to get in the way no matter what. So he probably wouldn't have an ab crunch either way because of the way the armor is designed. So no point of wasting it, going that way. Might as well put it the other way so he can get a little bit of side-to-side action. Because if they had rotated it the other way, the armor would just get in the way no matter what. So I guess, that's smart on their end. Gonna give them that one. Legs can go out that much. Not too far, but they can kick forward basically perfectly straight, especially since you can rotate the leg right here. You can kick back that much, and if you hear snoring, that is my dog, just letting you know. It does have those double jointed knees that go like that, which looks very weird. It doesn't look nice at all. Don't know why they went with this. Noble 6, I want to say, has the same thing, and the last Series 3 Master Chief, the one with the hook arm, he has that thing too, so don't know what was going there. And come to think of it, that Master Chief doesn't have the shiny visor. So I guess they are picking and choosing what figures get it now. Glad this one did, though. Anyways, he does have forward and back at the ankle right there. No ankle pivot, which really, really sucks because he needs it. He really needs it for some better balancing and stuff. But yeah, that's my biggest complaint when it comes to articulation, that there is no ankle pivot. But he does have a toe hinge for what that is worth. And yeah, it's not an ugly toe hinge. It doesn't really break the mold too much. So it's good. It's not bad. I like it. And yeah, it's not bad. I feel like they've definitely gotten better from the first figure. Like, the legs are now more rubbery. There's no more loud ratchety noise. The arms aren't loose. Mine does pop off, but I doubt that's going to be a widespread issue. His arms, at least in this armor, go straight down. I'm curious to see how the 20th anniversary Halo 1 and Infinite 2-pack, if that Master Chief, if both of them, the Halo 1 one, if he can, have better articulation, are his arms going to be this good? Is the new version of Chief from that 2-pack going to be basically the same as the original? Is it going to be the same as Series 2, same as Series 3? Or is it going to be completely different? We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. But for now, we are here with this, the original release Master Chief, which I did do some work on. Gave him a little bit of wash. Repainted some of this because he didn't have the two-tone green, I believe, on him. Like I said, his arms can't go straight. He does have a little bit more of a side-to-side pivot, which this one didn't have, but I did hollow out the rubber there. Still can't move forward and back that much. I know some people cut the plastic here. I think they shaved down the rubber and glued it on, which is kind of like how he looks like in Halo 3. And actually, the Halo 3 from that Warthog 2-pack, he looks like he has that going on. We'll find out when that figure comes out next year. So, we'll see if that kind of improves his articulation at all, because it is nicer when that figure, when the armor is under it. That's how it is in, again, Halo 3. I'm wondering if that's going to give us more range, maybe for an ab crunch or something, but I honestly doubt it. But again, we'll see. So yeah, I feel like this figure's green should match this figure a little bit more, but obviously not as beat up, especially since I did, darken mine up a little bit. But I don't remember if I did silver dry brushing or not. I know he had silver dry brushing, but I don't remember if I added more. I don't think I did, but I may have. This one, Doesn't need it too much. Again, in the game, he gets the armor brand new, so it's basically your imagination on what you want to do with him. He's not a blank canvas, but he is a canvas of sorts if you want to customize and make him look a little bit better. This chief is a little bit taller than this one. I don't believe the Spartans are still growing, so that's just action figure stuff, but he is a little bit taller, but it's not too noticeable. You can put Noble 6 next to him, which Noble 6, why do you not want to stand straight? His knife just fell out of his thing, but it's fine. I kind of saw where it fell. He is shorter than him, which is accurate. I don't know why he's standing kind of sideways. I can't get him to stand up straight. Maybe it's his knee, but it's fine. Here he is with Jerome, which I feel like this is the color green he should have been, but again, it is what it is. And next up, here he is with the 1,000 Toys Master Chief, which is definitely shorter, but not too shorter. I think he is still actually taller than Noble 6. Yeah, he still is. I do really like this figure, especially with the articulation and everything. It's definitely not accurate to the game like 100%. It is more of like an homage to it. He has more of a robot look to him, but good figure. And then there's the new one that I might get. It's expensive, but that articulation, that look, it's the newer Infinite Master Chief, the re-edit from 1,000 Toys, but I might need it. So my light is dying here, which is unfortunate. So I think that's us kind of calling it for this review. Yeah, the figure, again, it's good. You can definitely get him into some good poses. The accessories are what you would expect for Halo 2. Yes, SMGs makes the most sense. That's what he had on the cover. Great call there, no complaints. He can hold, obviously, some of the other weapons from the line. Of course, he can hold some of the weapons from the Mattel line as well. The McFarlane ones are a little bit smaller. They look a little bit weird, but if you wanted and you have some, you can definitely put it in his hands. Not the World of Halo ones. They're really small, so that's the only drawback with that. But yeah, definitely a good looking figure. Nicely articulated figure. Really the only thing he's missing with the articulation, aside from the ab crunch, is the pivot. If he had the ankle pivot, I would be giving him like a 10, not a 10-star rating, but like a really, really high rating. Without it, it's still a high rating, but it's just, I wish it was there for balancing. It is what it is. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.